The Rewatchables, presented by Blue Moon. Today's most rewatchable scene, we're going to do the rewatchable scene. It's presented by Blue Moon. Blue Moon, carefully crafted for a one-of-a-kind appearance and flavor, brewed with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and bright citrus aroma. That attention to detail, much like Richard Dreyfuss in this movie, makes Blue Moon the perfect beer to bring some brightness to your life. Just like a well-crafted movie, you know you'll enjoy Blue Moon every time. It's always best served in a glass. That signature orange garnish. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale. Most rewatchable scene. I really like the opening credits. I think are really good, but I'm not going to put that in. But I think it's just to establish how nuts Bob is right away is great. I have the first therapy scene with Murray and Dreyfuss when he does the "What if my heart stops bleeding?" and he's just like he's off the rails. And at that point, Dr. Marvin seems like he has his shit together, but it has one of the great quotes. There are two types of people in this world, those who like Neil Diamond and those who don't. I think that's actually true. I think that's a good, it's a good senior yearbook quote. But that one is, I think it's important with a movie like this where they have to meet early and they kind of have to nail it. And I feel like they nailed that one.
I have an important question for you, Bill, about that scene. When you're working on the book of basketball, how many mock-up covers featured a photo of your face?
It's 0. I remember getting that note from the book company and being like, I'm not going to be on the cover. What are you talking about?
It's amazing. It's Richard Dreyfuss's face on the cover of that book. That's so good.
Next rewatchable scene when Bob's waiting for the doctor to call in the diner, the guy uses the phone. I also like when he gets off the bus, but that's when we get my people, the Gutmans, who own the diner. And they're like, oh, Bob, you stole that. There's so much anger on that one. The sailing. Bob sailing. Mm-hmm. There's some questions about why the daughter just so eagerly invited him that are borderline picking nits. But
I have a theory about that.
Okay.
I have a theory too.
They needed the movie to have Bob incorporated with the family.
I mean, do you want to do it right now?
Yeah.
I mean, Catherine Erb is 26 years old in this movie. How old is her character supposed to be? Is she supposed to be 15?
17, something like that.
Well, she's driving. I tried to figure this out. She's got to be at least like 16 and a half. She's a little old to be played the 16 and a half year old.
Julie Haggerty is only 10 years older than her when they made the movie. So,
right. Oh,
wow.
Like in my head, I'm thinking Catherine Erb's character is 25 years old and she's just failed and she's forced to live with her family because she can't get a job. And so maybe she was attracted to Bob. Maybe she wanted him to be a part of her gang.
Jesus, you've made a whole different movie.
You think she might have been post-college?
I don't think that was the intent. But when I watched the movie, okay, so Catherine Erb, 3 years later, plays David Caruso's wife in Kiss of Death.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, this is an adult woman. This is not a teenager.
Sean, was this your way of auditioning for the Kiss of Death podcast? That
I definitely want in on that. Definitely want in on that. That's a hilarious movie.
That movie's unbelievable. So if we're saying she was post-college or college, that makes more sense because her friends seem older, too. Mm-hmm. Guess it's not addressed. Would have been nice to hear her age at some point. I like the sailing. I also love when Dreyfuss is talking with her after and he breaks out the puppets and it's like, oh, you're a lunatic. You're communicating with your daughter through two puppets. Right. Gives her the other puppet. To me, this is right here is when the movie takes off. When he's sailing, it comes back. Now, the next rewatchable scene, he teaches Siggy how to dive. Siggy jumps in. The doc pushes Murray into the lake. That whole thing is great. Bob at dinner.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's my joint. That's my joint.
My wife loves when he asks if the corn is hand chucked. Like there's any other way to make corn.
Like there's any difference. Is this corn hand shucked?
Yes, it's hand shucked, Bob.
Right, yeah.
The Heimlich, and then when he saves him, they all gravitate to Bob.
Right.
Richard Dreyfuss is just almost choked to death, and he's like, I just never give up hope. That scene's amazing. Bob crashed in the GMA interview, the whole thing, the diner people celebrating, the Dreyfuss kicking him out. You think he's gone? He's never gone. That whole section. And then Leo tries to blow up Bob, but Bob's house blows up. That's what I have. Anything missing?
The chicken scene is my favorite scene. I do love it also when he gets off the bus and his idea of tracking down Leo is just to stand in the middle of town and scream, Dr. Leo Marvin. And it works. Like Doctor, he's just screaming to the top of his lungs. Think about a guy in the middle of Hollywood and Highland at Times Square just shouting out, Sean Fennessey, Bill Simmons, Van Lathan, or at Martha's Vineyard, or even in Baton Rouge. It's just meant to be. It works. And that whole little therapy scene, that just the horror on his face when he turns around and sees that Bob has made it up there is so hysterical, man.
What do you have for most rewatchable, Sean?
I think I have one more. Did you say just the diving scene? You know, the scene where Bob teaches. I like that scene a lot more watching it the second time around. But I feel like every scene between Bob and Siggy is really good, even when they're in bed together later that night too, and the conversation they have and the Tourette stuff. Yeah, that stuff is really good. But my favorite scene is
scaring the shit out of me. I'm like, damn, I hadn't seen that in a long time, and I'm like, it hits different when you're like 21 watching that, and when you're 41, Siggy was scaring the shit out of me. Jesus, man.
Right.
Yeah, man, that's Michael Ballhaus. He's shooting that scene like it's a horror scene. You know, like the two heads in the frame, like one in the back and one in the front. Like there's some artful stuff going on there. My favorite scene is definitely Dreyfuss just blowing his top and doing the he's not gone, he's never gone, and then opening the door and you see that just kills me every time.
I have the dinner. I love the dinner. I love how annoying he is at the dinner and everything about it. That was today's most rewatchable scene presented by Blue Moon. Blue Moon on a mission to bring some brightness to your life, break up your routine. It's the little things that could switch up your day, like taking the time for a movie you haven't watched in a while. Make time for Blue Moon. Refreshing, full flavored, notes of Valencia orange and coriander. Unlike any other beer, celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale.